UFC 309 took place last night, or should we say earlier? Well, yeah, it's last night now. Um, as you guys know, I usually do my post-fight reaction. Obviously, I couldn't actually record my reaction because I had a trapped nerve, so I couldn't turn my neck. It's still even giving me a little bit of trouble, but we move anyway. So I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts and post-fight breakdown and reaction and whatnot. So let's get into it. I'll be honest. Did I watch the prelims? I think I did watch some of the prelims, but I can't lie to you. Yeah, I did. Um, I watched. Let's start with Veronica Hardy versus Eduarda Mora. To be honest, Veronica Hardy, that fight, Eduarda Mora did what she needed to do to win that fight. She was good at. She was able to take Veronica Hardy down. I mean, she was landing the better shots. If I'm completely honest, Veronica Hardy did have a few moments. Nothing significant, but she did have a few moments. But Eduarda Mora did what she needed to do to get the win. She mixed her takedowns in with a bit of striking, and ultimately she got the win. So yeah, shouts out to her. I wasn't too excited about the fight. To be completely honest with you guys, it's not sexist at all, but I don't really find women's fights exciting like that. Like, I'll be honest, Katie Taylor and is it Amanda Serrano fought for the co-main of Tyson and Jake Paul, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that fight was exciting. So it's definitely not me being sexist. But anyways, we move on to welterweight bout. We had Bashil, and the thing is, I heard the way they said it yesterday, but I've forgotten. Bashil Hafiz versus Oban Elliott. It was round three, yeah. Round three stoppage. Oban Elliott got the stoppage. To be honest, the whole fight, Oban looked very cool, calm, collected. He was picking his shots well. He was keeping Hafiz guessing. And then third round, boom, he gets the knockout with a great right hand, straight down the pipe. The way it rocked Hafiz was crazy, and then Urban followed up with some hammer fists. Fight was stopped. Great stoppage. Oban Elliott, I can't lie to you, he looked very good in there. It looked like he was just having fun sparring. So shout out to the Welsh gangster. First time I've seen him fight personally, and it was good. Yeah, it was what he done was good. I can't lie to you guys. Then we had Mickey Gul versus Ramiz Brahimaj. I forgot how to say his name. I heard him say it last night as well. I think yeah, it was first round. Yeah, I can't lie to you. I don't even remember. I think it was a right hand. I think it landed on the temple or the jaw. Um, Ramiz Ramiz looked good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He looked very, very good. Mickey Gall had a height advantage. I thought he would have tried to keep Ramiz away, but Ramiz was good at closing the distance. He got on the inside, landed a few shots, but the shot that put Mickey out was I think it was a right hook to the head. Landed cleanly, beautiful shot, and ultimately he got the knockout. So shouts out to Ramiz. I believe he is first generation Albanian, so shouts out to him. Obviously I've got a lot of Albanian friends. I've had a lot of Albanian friends over the years. So shout out to what's the word? Is it Shipes? I've forgotten how to say it, but my Albanian friends can correct me. But yeah, that was the early prelims. Then we move on to the main prelims. Marcin Tybura versus Jonathan Deniz. I'm not gonna lie, Marcin Tybura, that was great. I can't lie to you. That was actually a great performance. I mean, technically he stopped Janata in the first round, but obviously he didn't really quit on his stool. But they stopped the fight as they were coming out for round two. And to be honest with you, Marcin Tybura did very well, took Janata down. I mean, the way he shot for the legs and got the takedown was very good. And then he was just letting off some dirty elbows. And to be completely honest, when the round stopped, Janata Deniz was basically done. If Marcin had landed maybe one or two more elbows, he would have been out cold. Because even when Janata stood up, he needed help from his corner. So it was a good stoppage. Shout out to Marcin Tybura, great performance. And yeah, after that we had David Onama versus Roberto Romero. And obviously, I've never watched David Onama before or Roberto Romero, but there was a lot of hype around David Onama. He got rocked in the first round. But I gotta be honest, David Onama, very good fighter. Like, he clearly hits hard because when he was landing some of them shots, I was thinking to myself, damn. Out of the two, Onama definitely hits harder. He got rocked in the first round, but from what I remember, I think he actually came back and may have just stole the round at the end of round one. Either way, used that know about the verdict. I scored it. I think I gave it 9-9. I cannot really remember too much, but the rest of the fight, David Onama just put on. I wouldn't necessarily say a masterclass, but he was just a better fighter. His striking IQ, everything was just better. His fight IQ was better. He was landing the better shots. He was pushing the pace. And to be honest, I liked what I saw from David Onama. Very, very good fighter. So shouts out to him. He won by decision. Like I said, he dictated how the fight went. He was pushing the pace. He was controlling the cage. So yeah, shouts out to David Onama. Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson. Guys, I'm so annoyed because I was briefly doing something and I missed the submission. But I saw after, obviously, it was a guillotine. Shouts out to Jim Miller. I don't know how that fight went, so I can't really tell you too much about it. All I know is that Jim Miller got a submission in the first round. So shouts out to him. It looked like a good guillotine. But unfortunately, I missed it live. So yeah, and then next up we had Jonathan Martinez versus Marcus McGee. And I'm not going to lie, Jonathan Martinez, this is the first time I've seen you fight. And obviously people were talking about, I believe it was your last fight against Jose Aldo. And I'll be honest, Jonathan Martinez, it looks like you respected Marcus McGee's power too much. And I'm not going to lie, I understand why, because Marcus definitely hits harder than you. But as the fight went on, when Jonathan started to like push forward and put Marcus on his heels, he was getting more success. And I mean, the first round, the first and the second round, Jonathan was landing some decent low kicks here and there. Marcus was the busier fighter, but Jonathan was landing a couple leg kicks here and there, and you could see that it was doing damage. Round three comes. Jonathan Martinez lands some beautiful leg kicks, which actually potentially could have stopped Marcus McGee because Marcus McGee's leg was done. I don't know how he managed to stand on that leg. And I feel like if Jonathan Martinez had done this earlier, because Marcus kept moving, he would get backed up, then he'll come forward, push you back. I believe he was switching stances as well here and there. So I just believe if Jonathan had thrown more leg kicks, he would have slowed down the movement of Marcus McGee, would have been able to start, throwing punch. But from what I saw, Jonathan, you're kind of a one-trick pony. You you're good at leg kicks, but you must just be a shit fighter. I'm not gonna lie. It's the first time seen you fight, and I was just terrible. So to be completely honest, the whole fight wasn't the greatest. I seen Marcus McGee said he would like to fight Jose Aldo. I don't think he should. I think Jose beats him. Jose's the better fighter. It's just obviously Marcus McGee does have power. Prior to this, he had 100, I believe it was 100% KO ratio. To be honest, I wasn't impressed by either fighter, but shout out to Marcus McGee. He got the win by decision. That was the last fight for the prelims. And then to kick the main card off, we had Mauricio Rafi versus James Lontop. And I'm going to be honest, yeah. Mauricio Rafi, first time I've seen you fight. You're coming out of the Fighting Nerds camp. Listen, very, very good fighter, Mauricio Rafi. But it's funny because when I was watching his fight, the commentary were making a lot of comparison to Conor McGregor. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. He looks like the Conor McGregor that was fighting at featherweight. Like, he actually kind of looks like him. Has a similar build. Has a similar fighting style. It's crazy. Like, he literally reminds me of Conor at featherweight. But here's the downside of that. Very explosive fighters, even when they're throwing hard, it doesn't look like it's being thrown hard. It looks so effortless. But the problem with fighters like Mauricio Rafi and Conor McGregor is that because even though it looks effortless, a lot of the times everything they're throwing is hard. And that's why, because it's so effortless, it's like they're constantly in flow state, if that makes sense. However, when you're very powerful and explosive the way these guys are, especially like Conor and Mauricio, you tend to gas out quicker. And I'm going to be honest, if Mauricio Rafi, in my opinion, will get exposed soon. Um, don't get me wrong, it was a very good performance. Was it the first or second round he rocked Lontop? But Lontop has got a fucking big fucking head, mate. His head is massive, I can't lie. So yeah, it was a good fight. Mauricio was doing his thing, but then the third round is like, even in the second round towards the end, it's like he started to slow down a bit. Third round, you could see that Mauricio's gas tank was gone. He was still doing his thing, however, he slowed down a lot. And if that was a 5-round fight, he could have potentially have been stopped or lost. And what does he fight? I believe he fights at lightweight, or is it featherweight? I can't remember. But you're gonna meet some guys in there that have the conditioning, that have the skill to go the distance, and that's where I think Mauricio is gonna find it tough. Because what if he gets into a fight where it's, you know, first 2 rounds is fast paced? Then what happens in the third round? So very similar to Conor. I like Mauricio's style. Good win, but I feel like he probably will get exposed soon. But anyways, we move on to Vivian Ariajo versus Karine Silva. I don't really pay attention to this fight, I'm not going to lie to you guys. And I'm going to be real, they shouldn't have put this on the main card. And even if they were to have it on the main card, it should have been below Mauricio Rafi and James Lontop. But decent fight. Vivian Ariajo did what she needed to do to win, especially in the third round. Like I said, I didn't really watch the fight, so I wasn't really interested. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I wasn't really interested. So we move on from that. Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was fucking shit. Paul Craig, what's all of this? You're doing all of that, but you're not throwing anything. All Paul Craig was doing was throwing a body kick here and there that was barely fucking landing. Bo Nickel, I'm gonna be honest, your striking looked terrible. Don't get me wrong, you touched up Paul Craig a little bit. Looked like you rocked him. Was it in the second or third? But Bo Nickel, that was a shite performance. Like, it was shit. Your striking is absolutely trash. Very good wrestler though, but your striking is trash. Like, and if this is how you fought Paul Craig, Paul Craig, come on, bro, come on. Not that I have anything against Paul Craig, but come on, Paul Craig. And you think you could give Chimaev a run? What do you think Chimaev would do to Paul Craig? What do you think? I'm gonna keep it real, Bo Nickel. You're not ready for the top 10 of the middleweight division. I'll keep it real. Chimaev, if you was to fight Chimaev, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you would stop some of his takedowns, but guess what? He's gonna march forward, and he's gonna put them fucking hands on you. He will. Even though Chimaev is not the best striker, but he will come forward and he's gonna put them hands on you, Bo. So I'm sorry, you're not ready. You're actually not ready for the top 10. Because I'm I'm a very optimistic person, and I aspire to be a champion myself. I'm not gonna dim someone else's light and say Bo Nickel's never gonna be a champion, because he actually could become champion. You never know. However, with what he has in front of him now, it's going to be very, very difficult because his striking is absolutely trash. Trash. Very good wrestler though, but if you meet someone who has good wrestling, like I don't see Bo. Bo could probably take Chimaev down, but I see Chimaev just standing back up. So, yeah, Bo, you got a long way to go. And Paul Craig, that shit was shite. All this, like, good. That was all good, you know. Throwing like, but you're not throwing nothing. Like, even when you're doing all of this, you know, popping every like, throw something. Man is just moving his arms. Like you're adding the confusion into the mix, but you're not throwing nothing. Like, you know, you're doing all of this. Yeah, when you're doing all of this, bang, throw a jab or something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that fight was kind of shit. But anyways, we move on. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler went to a decision, 5 rounds. Charles Oliveira won by decision. To be honest, it was a very good fight from Charles Oliveira. He put on a masterclass. Obviously, a lot of people wanted to see a finish. But to be honest with you guys, I liked how Charles fought this fight, man. Had his hands up, was picking his shots, was very calculated. He used the tie clinch here and there. I think he even rocked Chandler, I think in the second or third round. Oliveira looked good, man. He looked good. Charles looked good, I must say. But obviously Chandler tried to fight a different way, and I'm gonna be honest. Chandler should never do that again. Just go out there and brawl. Honestly, because in the 5th round when he came out and did that, he rocked Charles. Charles rid through the storm. Even was threatening from his back. Even earlier on in the fight, Charles was threatening submissions. He got Chandler's back. Wasn't really able to do much. I believe Charles opened Chandler up with some mean elbows in the 1st round. And overall, it was a good fight from Charles. Charles did what he needed to do. He was very smart, calculated. He was 1 step ahead of Chandler. And as much as I'm not the biggest Chandler fan, I'm going to be honest, he should never fight like that again. Just go out there and do what you do best, which is brawl. Honestly, that's your biggest weapon, and that's your biggest chance of winning. So just stick to it, you know. Honestly, as much as it's a recipe for disaster, that's what works for Chandler. And because in the 5th round, and his coach just said, fuck it, you have to go out there and, you know, do what you do best. That's when you rocked Charles. Like he has to do that. The only thing I will say, there was a lot of behind the head shots by Chandler in the fifth round when he actually did rock Charles Oliveira. I don't know what the fuck the referee was watching because he didn't call any of them. And at this point, Chandler, I don't know what's next for you. I don't think you should get the red panty night with Connor. I mean, you deserve it because you waited 2 years, but you don't deserve it because look what you've done since you've been in the UFC. I mean, you've lost, what, is it two? No, you've lost three, won two. Yeah, like, yeah, yeah. Let's just leave it as that. But anyways, we had the main event, which was John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't really excited for this fight. The way it kind of went is how I kind of saw it going from when the fight first ever got announced. I did think Stipe was too old. People can say what they want. Like I heard Dana after the fight at the press conference saying, "Oh, Stipe looks slow," when um, John started landing them body kicks. Nah, I'm gonna be real. From the first round, he looked. He just didn't belong there. I'm gonna keep it real. He did not belong in that octagon at 42 years age. 42 years of age with John Jones. He didn't. I'm sorry. First round, John takes him down. Vicious ground and pound. I thought the fight was potentially going to get stopped. But Stipe rid through the storm. John ends up cutting Stipe with an elbow just before the first round finishes. Second round, John starts to pick him apart. I mean, listen, John was fighting very, very, very well. John was picking him apart throughout the whole second round. And yeah, John looks good. He did look good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He looked a lot better than the brief fight that we got against Cyril Gane. Because I'm gonna be honest, from what I saw from Jones against Cyril Gane, that first like minute or whatever, they oh, that threw me off. But anyways, yeah, from what I saw from John Jones when he fought Cyril Gane, he he looked a bit slow, flat-footed. This fight, he looks better. Third round, he came out. You know, he was backing Stipe up the whole fight. Stipe couldn't really get into his rhythm. John landed a nice spinning back kick to the midsection, and Stipe couldn't. To be honest, there was a shot that John landed before he landed. I believe it was a teep to the midsection. I think it might have been it must have been the second round. And Stipe's reaction, it did not look good to me. And I thought that, I don't know, man. Stipe just didn't look good in there. I'm gonna be honest. Don't get me wrong. There was times he landed a few shots on John, and this is just my opinion. People can say what they want. John did not like when Stipe landed on him. He was able to keep his distance and move away and whatnot, and but he didn't like when Stipe was hitting him. I'll be honest, he did not. But anyways, John landed a beautiful spinning back kick to the midsection, stopped Stipe in the third round. But to be honest, from the first round, I saw that coming. Like I said, 42-year-old Stipe did not belong in there with John Jones. And I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, Tom spoke with some of the broadcast team after the fight, and he said the biggest thing that stood out for him the biggest thing that stood out for him from John Jones that he felt he could use against John Jones' speed, and I completely agree. Tom is way too quick. Way too quick. I don't think John should fight him. I think John should just retire. I don't think that's a fight he should be taking. That's just my opinion. All right, cool. I'm gonna be honest. John has a big chance of winning if he takes Tom down. Yeah, I'll be honest, he does. But Tom can wrestle as well. John probably is the better wrestler though. But Tom is quick. And if they exchange when standing up, I'll be honest, Tom is quicker than you, bro. Tom is quicker than you. And you said it yourself, John. You don't have that one punch knockout power. Tom Tom does. I mean, that is the fight to make next. What happens, we'll see. Dana said John will disappear for a bit. I'll be honest. Sorry, John. I love you, but that can't happen. It's either you fight Tom Aspinall or you fucking retire. That's it. Because the division can't be held up because of you, John, respectfully. So, yeah. Overall, didn't the card was decent. It was a fucking weird card, if I'm completely honest. And yeah, um, my ratings for the whole card, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10, man. If I'm honest, yeah, wasn't anything special, but yeah, that's my UFC 309 post fight breakdown and whatnot. But I'll see you guys soon.